What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. We are back in the Cowboys cave. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, having a good day. It is one day away from the NFL draft, where all our hopes and dreams of the Cowboy seasons can hopefully become a reality, getting some playmakers. But before we get rolling, make sure, as always, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We appreciate all the new subscribers. Got a ton of them over the last week. So definitely appreciate it. Word's getting out, and hopefully the Cowboys do something where your boy can bust through that door, drop a little hype video to get us rolling. But they got to get a top-notch playmaker for me to do that. And those who follow me on Twitter know that I came out of retirement, played a little softball last night with on my son's team. They needed a player, so they get the old man out there, see if Big Game Mike still has it. Defense was pretty good. Tweaked both hamstrings, making a couple catches. Hitting was, we'll talk about that another day. I got some work to do to work off that rust, but was a tough outing. Might have to go back in retirement because I'm on the IR, and I don't know if I'll be able to even do a hype video, even if we got the best player in the draft fell to us. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, press conference, the typical pre-draft press conference that came out yesterday. Tried to see if there was any kind of nuggets, anything to look at. Definitely want to know your thoughts on it. Pretty much the same as what you'd expect. They did drop a few things about possible trade opportunities. Cowboys may have things in the works to either trade up, trade down, maybe get a receiver. There's a lot of rumors flying around. Could they go a trade for a veteran receiver, trading back, or do they draft? Me personally, I would like to see them draft a receiver. I would like to see them get some young guys in here. I need some young guys, some fresh eyes, maybe some people coming off championship programs, change the mentality a little bit, get some dogs in here, because we're going to be talking about it more on our live draft show tomorrow. I was talking with my man Eugene Hit Machine, former Dallas Cowboy, all-pro linebacker. He's going to be coming in the cave. He has a lot of thoughts on it, and him and I were we're in sync in what we're doing. So hopefully you guys will tune in for that live draft show. We're going to have the whole crew in the house, so to speak. So it's going to be a lot of fun with Kelly K9, Jimmy Dee. Greg's going to be popping in. We're going to have our fan of the month. We have you guys. If you want to be part of the show and jump on, we're going to be putting a link out there so you can kind of join the conversation for a little bit. So it's going to be fun. But talking trade talk, they talked about O-line, and I got that feeling when I'm listening to Jerry talk. They're slowly selling that they may go offensive line in the first round. I would be, to say disappointed would be an understatement. Nothing against drafting an offensive line. There's some quality ones out there. There's definitely could help, but I don't know if that's the help that we need right now. I think where we need the help right now is at wide receiver, at cornerback, at running back, defensive tackle. And those are the areas where I really hope that they address in this draft early and often. They invested in some free agency depth and opportunities with offensive line. Obviously, they're bringing back the offensive line that kind of played half the season towards the end last year that did show some definite improvement in the run blocking, also in the pass protection. So you'd like to see them continue to develop and gel together and hopefully improve off that. Obviously, Guyton needs to step up. We did a show about the offensive line. So if you want to hear more about it, you can go check one of the earlier shows I did this week. But playmakers are the key. Now, in listening to Shoddy, he's talking about some playmakers. Doesn't have to be the fastest guys. So a lot of people with Golden, I mean, they love speed because you can't coach speed, but they're looking for well-rounded players as well. So speed isn't the X factor. So that gives you that Egbuka, that gives you some of these other receivers that are out there that could be targeted in the first round. The Cowboys' track record, I showed it on our show last week. They do pretty damn well when it comes to drafting first-round receivers. I mean, you talk about, obviously, CD, Dez, Michael Irvin. Mike Sherrard was the one you could say outlier, but he had a pretty good NFL career. Just injuries took his toll in Dallas, but when he went to San Francisco and obviously the New York Giants, he put together some pretty good seasons. So they've done a pretty good job evaluating receivers. So I feel they can get us a playmaker, get us someone opposite CD, and make this thing happen and get this offense kind of some juice. Because without CD and, of course, Turpin and the opportunities he's had, he's big play and he's got that speed. We just don't have the juice. And running back is the other area. I mean, Jerry Jones talked about getting Zeke, but he also talked about getting Murray in the 4th round. He's still trying to sell us on running back wasn't an issue last year. And my man he's going to die on the hill fighting that battle. But any Cowboy fan knows that if they would have went out and got Henry, if they would have got a legit running back, no disrespect to Dowdle, he's a good running back, but I'm talking about a top-tier running back that was in free agency that they could have got this season, would have looked a lot different. Just my opinion. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but Jerry Jones going to die on that hill selling it, that the running game wasn't the issue in Dallas. But to me, the identity of teams, typically the running game sets that identity. Physical, break your will. You saw what Philadelphia did with Saquon. They had a great offensive line, but they never had that dominant running game. I mean, dominant. That one that you saw with Saquon Barkley last year took them over to another level, and they broke teams' will. And that's what a running game could do. So to me, running back has got to be a priority, not in the 1st round. You could not do it in the 2nd round. If you saw my final mock draft, I got a running back in the 3rd round. I got a damn good running back in Damian Martinez, who they compare him, his play type to Marshawn Lynch. There's some similarities. I think there's some differences. I think Marshawn Lynch was more physical, but Damian Martinez will run your ass over, make no mistake about it. But I think the game that Marshawn Lynch, the identity has a little bit different than Martinez, but style of play very similar. So you get that running back. So hopefully that's what the Cowboys are thinking. You kind of heard it in the press conference. They alluded to running back. They alluded to cornerback. They alluded to wide receiver. Unless I missed it, I didn't hear a lot about defensive tackle, but they better not be sleeping on that. But they did say Eberflus is getting the influence, is having the influence on the type of players that he needs for his defense. Same thing with obviously Shoddy and his offensive staff, the type of players that they need to run their offense. Everything I'm hearing from Shoddy, unless it's horseshit, is he wants to be physical. He wants to run the football. So you got to think they are going to get a running back early. They are going to get a wide receiver early and hopefully fill some needs with Eberflus with a cornerback and defensive tackle. So, but outside that, you got your typical Jerry Jones anecdotes, stories. I mean, still talking about firing Tom Landry and the mistake that was made and how that was handled. I mean, still bringing up a lot of that kind of history that he's had. Selling again that he listens. It's a collaborative conversation. Could be true. I'm not in the draft room, so what the hell do I know? Stephen Jones selling the fact that they made a lot of investments in free agency. Yeah, they don't get the top tier guys because they typically re-sign their own, but they have made some investment in this offseason. They have been more active than in years past. Maybe not the household names that a lot of people like, but addressing positions in need: linebacker, defensive line, offensive line, running back. They did address, they traded for a cornerback. They did address the positions that we all feel as fans were positions of need. They asked about a quarterback. What if a top quarterback falls to you at 12? Would you draft it? Would you make that move? They didn't say no, but if you listen to Jerry and the investment and everything they have in Dak, I don't think that's going to be the case. Plus, they traded for Milton. So I think that kind of squashed the quarterback in this draft if they were going to get one later, which I was a big McCord fan, still am, from Syracuse. I think he's a guy that definitely has some skill, definitely can play at the next level, would be a great kind of quarterback to groom and to work through. So, but that's not going to happen. And I like Joe Milton. I think that was a great trade. That was actually one of the trades the Cowboys did where I think they won. So, so that's my thoughts on the quarterback. Don't really think you're going to see much in that. But the thing that you're going to see, quarterbacks typically in the draft become over-evaluated. And some teams will go up and reach for some. You saw it in so many years. I remember Minnesota got Christian Ponder. I mean, geez, what the hell are you doing there? Florida State quarterback. He wasn't even any good at Florida State, but they saw something and took him in the top 10. So I guess what I'm saying is there's opportunity for the Cowboys to trade back. They're at the 12th pick. If someone like a Shador were to slip a little bit, Jackson Dart's right there. If you get one of these quarterbacks that people covet and they slip a little bit, the Cowboys could get a very nice value in trade, because quarterbacks typically, when a team trades a quarterback, they'll overpay with draft compensation. So the Cowboys may trade back, gain some really good premium picks to trade back, still get the guy they want in the first round, and maybe get some other picks to help get this team where they need to be. The one interesting thing they did talk about, and just kind of cemented what I think a lot of us know, is they drafted these guys to start now. They put a lot of pressure on their draft picks. They've done it in years past. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it doesn't. You hate to put that kind of pressure on your draft picks to be impact players right off the bat, but that's been the Cowboys' philosophy. Hasn't really produced a Super Bowl championship, but we'll see what happens. But this year, at least they were a little bit more active in free agency, so it's not so much pressure on a guy like Guyton last year to be a left tackle rookie start, when most people who did, draft analysis and scouting said, hey, this guy's got some talent, but he's a little raw. He's not a guy that you're going to throw in there at left tackle right away. But the Cowboys had no choice. Obviously, they had the injury to Chuma, and then went ahead and had to put him in probably earlier than maybe they wanted, but that's the sacrifice, that's the price you pay. So anyway, so look for them to draft guys that can play now, not too many projects, guys that they can be impact players now. I think that's what you're going to see. So, hey, that's just my few minutes, just my thoughts, just what I'm thinking about. Hopefully you guys pray for your boy. Get these hamstrings back that are injured. Shouldn't play softball anymore. Maybe I need to head back in retirement. But the only thing I'm going to say is I told my kid, because I was playing on his day, I can't go out like that. I can't go out back in retirement, hobbling off the field. I got to get some redemption. So you might see me one more time out there, because I got to get my hitting back. I didn't get the nickname Big Game Mike for popping out and not hitting the ball. That's not my style. So we're going to see what happens. But all kidding aside, appreciate all the love. Thank you for hitting that like button. See, I'm already telling you to do it. And again, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We definitely appreciate it. Join our live draft show tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. More importantly, your boy's going to be running around at different podcasts throughout the weekend. So I'll be posting where I'll be. Come out, support the Cowboys content creators, because there's a lot of great content creators out here. Now, yesterday, I don't get involved in all the drama, but it looked like there was a lot of drama between some Cowboys content creators. I mean, it's like gang warfare. I mean, we're hurting our own. I don't know what's going on, but everyone brings something to the table, and I love a lot of the shows, all the shows really that I watch. I'm a supporter of all the content. I'm kind of behind the radar, under the radar kind of guy, behind the scenes. I just watch them, on my way home, or when I'm sitting there, watching TV, I'll flip it on and have that in the TV be background noise. But a lot of great content creators, a lot of great ones that bring different, specialties to the table, bring different insights, knowledge. So you hate to see them fighting with each other. You hate to see fallouts between us. We're all brothers. We all love the Cowboys. The common denominator is we want to win a championship. So there's no sense in attacking our own. But I will say I'm a huge fan of Law Nation. Big fan. He's always been great. Every time I've met him, he was good. And AOC was, he was on our show. He was great, and definitely had a great time with him. So no, I'm staying out of it. Hopefully it's all squashed. Hopefully it's over. We move on to focusing on getting these Cowboys that Super Bowl championship and see if we can get this thing rolling, get some playmakers, make it happen. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow night in the Cowboys Cave.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.